Yeah. 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 So many lies that you hear from the net, they don't get her respect. She reporting the truth, not a check. You want an unbiased opinion straight from the chest, not a bit accomplice or someone here for a check. Tune in, these are thoughts from a lawyer on a mission who goes so hard it's like she works on commission. Trolls in the comments might say she tripping cause they lack the knowledge, they don't know they missing. Got a couple current events that you like, wanna know about law from the eyes. Tired of all these blogs running lies because their agendas are disguised. Tune in to the intellect, cause I'm sure y'all missing all the facts of the case that she steady is gifted. Someone here for the people, man, it's so uplifting. If you ain't subscribed yet, then you just omitting facts.
Hello, everyone. It is Pam Esquire, also known as Fix This Camera, as your law intellect. It is good to see each and every one of you guys. Happy birthday to me. I know. Thank you guys so much for all of the birthday shout outs. If you guys are not following me on Instagram, go follow me on Instagram. You know, I did a little post this morning, had my little birthday fit on and all of that, but now I'm back on the Detroit versus everybody sweatshirt. So listen. If you are new here, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you have been here before, welcome back. If you would be so kind as to hit the like button and to subscribe to the channel, or consider subscribing to the channel if you have not done so already. What I plan on talking about today is the continuation of the Ernest Williams and Shirley Strawberry saga and the indictment over there in Georgia. So what happened was a couple of weeks ago, the state filed a motion to dismiss, and I never went over it. Nope, I had a lot going on, had to step away from the internet for a little bit, and so I never got a chance to really review it, all right? So I made a promise that I was going to review it because people wanted my commentary. So that is why I am talking about it today on my birthday, all right? I am talking about how the state of Georgia advised Ernest Williams that a married person is not supposed to go get married. Okay? If you are already married and you have not gotten a divorce, you are not supposed to again fill out an application and go get married again until you have resolved those prior marriages. All right? And because he has failed to do that according to the court documents and the exhibits filed by the state is like, why are you even challenging anything that has to do with a car that you just shouldn't have had in the first place? All right. So we're going to get into it. Thank you guys again for yesterday. I didn't have my phone. I got a few cash apps, and I got a whole, so many of you guys don't know, but I did do a Amazon wish list, and I just had it in my membership. I think I got all of the gifts. I have a whole lot of gifts. I'm not going to open all of them now, but I am going to open up a few of them throughout this broadcast. I only had it in a membership because, I honestly didn't even have much I wanted to really pick out, but they like cleaned it out in the membership. And for that, I am grateful to each and every one of you. Thank you so much, Nathaniel, for the Cash App. I appreciate it. I'm trying to open it because some of y'all don't want me to know your government names, don't want me to put them out here. So thank you, Barbara. I appreciate the Cash App. Alice, thank you so much. Thank you. She said happy birthday. Thank you. Who is this? Hicks, thank you so much. Bridget, thank you. I appreciate it. You said for the documents, because we was on for like 3 hours yesterday. Sherry, she sent the Cash App yesterday towards the documents. Thank you so much, Sherry. I appreciate the love. Deborah and Lakeisha, Stacy, Lisa Mae, Diane, Tammy, and Trudy. Those are all from yesterday because I did not have my phone. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. I really, really do. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I see you guys. I see you guys. Make sure you go over there on Instagram, hit the little like button and all that stuff over there on Instagram as well if you don't follow me already. Sherman, thank you so much. And Cross Country Cruiser, thank you for the birthday love. Okay, y'all keep the birthday love coming, Keep it coming. Keep it coming. I'm going to open up a few of these because I hope they say who the names are. If these don't have names on them, that's going to really, really suck. These don't have names on them. I don't know. Lord have mercy. How am I supposed to thank people when they don't have any names on these joints? I don't know, but I have a little exercise thingy majiggy right here. Thank you, whoever sent it. I appreciate it. And what is I have some lights for when I'm on the road. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I will never understand. Y'all didn't leave no messages or nothing for your girl. Oh, yeah. This is from Joy Knowlton. Thank you so much, Joy. I appreciate it. Have the Ring camera lights. So some of y'all, I guess if you didn't put a note in here, I'm not going to know who you are or who brought it. Thank you, Felicia, for the Cash App. I appreciate it. Okay, let me see. Thank you, Shauna, for the I got the little under eye thing. I'm getting older now, so I gotta, do a little bit more care. I appreciate it. Oh my goodness. Y'all see all these boxes, you're gonna be like, I feel so loved. Let's see. What is this? I don't even know what this is. Hold on. Thank you, Danielle. My baby just told me happy birthday 50 times today. She made me breakfast.
Happy birthday to my mommy.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Oh, this is the beanie scarf and the hat. That's from. You ain't put your name on it. I don't know, but thank you so much. Let me know in the membership who you are. Thank you, Daniel. I'm not opening all these though, baby, because I'll be here all day. Let's see. It's a little kit to put hair stuff in. Boy.
You forget.
Okay, Daniel, wait a minute.
Here's a birthday gift. Oh, no.
Okay, I got put my water in there because I'll be drinking a lot of that now.
That's it.
Fancy?
That's
Thank you so much.
no.
My baby said it's fancy.
No, it's a copy.
The fruit
Very, very
infuser.
cool.
Okay, thank you, Danielle. Okay.
Okay.
Relax. Here. Danielle. Thank you. Danielle says she's going to shine on today. Okay, go back that way, Danielle. You only got on like a t-shirt here. Let's see. I'm gonna do. Make sure you hit the like button. We just opening up a few gifts here. If you didn't put your name in here, then I don't know like who. You are. Thank you, Shirley. She said, what up, though? She must be from Detroit. If you guys were looking on Instagram, I had some pictures, so y'all know I'm going to be, I got to work out, child. Because, honey. And then a couple pounds. So I got the little hula hoop thing. Thank you, Shirley. I appreciate it. I got over here. This is from Miss D2. Thank you so much. Sherry over there on YouTube. She got me a cute, let me show y'all this necklace. It's beautiful. Let me see. It has my birthstone on it. Y'all see that? Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that gorgeous? Thank you so much. I appreciate it, hon. Let's see. I sound like Shirley Strawberry. Thank you, hon. Thank you so much, hon. You are funny to me. What is this? I got a nice little smell goods, little lotions and stuff. Let's see, who is this from? From Rossy, Rossy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You said my hula is not going to hoop anymore. Girl, speak for yourself. I still got it, okay? I still got it. I asked my daughter, I was like, do I still got it? She was like, no. Dang. This is the ankle resist. I told y'all I'm about to be working out because, all right. That's all I'm going to do for now because I have I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I about 20 more boxes. So we going to get into it. I just wanted to show my appreciation. Thank you guys so very much. Thank you again for all the cash apps that are coming in. I think I'm going to go somewhere tomorrow. Thank you, Felicia, for the cash app. Thank you, Thais. I appreciate it. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. Thank you so much, y'all. Thank you for all of the love. And thank you to Ben Childs. He sent a cash, it was a PayPal this morning. Thank you so much for showing me love. I appreciate that. All right, we about to that was our intermission before we even started so that I can thank some of y'all for the stuff that you guys have given me. I appreciate that you use your hard-earned money on little old me. I really do appreciate it. Glamour W said, happy birthday. Thank you. Illegal Paralegal said, thank you for the super chat. Dion Davy, thank you so much, honey, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you for being a member for 6 months. Thank you, Thais. Thank you. So happy birthday. I am Shy D. Happy birthday, Pam. Many, many more. Thank you. Love the shop. Thank you for the super chat. Well, on to the new chapter. Yes, Lord. This year was starting out a little rough, but God. Worldwide Collaboration said happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Miss TT. Thank you all for all of my members. I appreciate that. You said happy birthday, Pam. Fun fact, my uncle Jeff Collins used to be the state's attorney and an appellate judge in Detroit. Okay. Shout out to you. And all right. So let's get started here. So let's talk about Nesto and them. So y'all know what we here for. We know what's up. So I told you guys I was going to go over this because I had not gone over it. And, I try to give a different perspective than maybe what you have heard before. And a lot of the stuff actually ties into what we talked about yesterday. So if you guys aren't aware, we know that most of us know anyway that Nesto's attorney is trying to suppress the search from the vehicle, which was an F-350 that was actually registered to Shirley Strawberry, who he says is was his wife. However, when we started covering this matter, we went down the whole rabbit hole of which we were like, okay, I found documents of which he was just trying to divorce one of his wives in 2021. He married Shirley in 2015. So I was certainly aware that apparently there was some issues with him not being married. I mean, not really being married to Shirley. Well, being married to Shirley, but not supposed to be married to Shirley. So, of course, she had to go through the whole process of getting a divorce. That seemed like it took forever. She waited a long time to actually get the divorce. We were like, when's she gonna file? When's she gonna file? She finally filed, like, was it a day or within the week of Ernest Williams being indicted? And part of his charges was bigamy. So what happened was, as the course, you have discovery, and when you have discovery, the state tries to turn over all the evidence that they have against you, that they're going to use against you, or even exculpatory evidence that might be favorable, whatever they gathered in their investigation. And so after Ernest's team received all of this information, received the evidence, or received the discovery is what we call it, his team filed a motion to suppress, and basically saying that the vehicle that was being searched was unlawful because they really didn't have a reason to impound it and take it into the police station. And he did ask, could he call his people in order to come pick up the truck? So their argument is basically, they being Ernest, is, well, you weren't supposed to search my truck in the first place. So anything that you got that derives from that search is fruit of the poisonous tree, and all of that should be suppressed. That's what they were, their argument is. So we know yesterday the state responded and basically was like, we have independent evidence against you. We have police reports. We have people that have called and complained about you. We have receipts that came from these individuals. We don't really need nothing you talking about in this truck. And that was their argument all along. But somehow, Ernest, his team, is trying to make it as if all the evidence the state has pretty much is derived from that truck. Well, what the state did was say, yeah, we'll respond to what you have to say. And in fact, I'm telling you, we don't even need that. But we don't even think you have standing to even challenge the truck, because everything related to you is fraud, basically. Like, everything related to this whole situation is fraudulent. So to say that you don't have standing, they're basically saying, you don't have standing to challenge the search, which means they cannot legally contest the validity of the police search because they ain't have a reasonable expectation of privacy in the place or the thing that was searched. So they didn't have a reasonable expectation of privacy in that car. And the reason why they didn't have that expectation of privacy is because we're going to go through it in this document. Okay. So on top of them responding and saying we don't need anything in the truck, they're also arguing that you didn't have a reasonable expectation of privacy in that truck and you can't challenge it anyway. So if this works right here and the court agrees, then that would actually, like, say, for instance, if the court at first was trying to say it was unlawful, that the search was unlawful, this would counter that and it wouldn't be unlawful anymore. And therefore, even the items in there that Wooten and the state didn't need for their case, it can still go forward for those other cases if the court agrees that he didn't have an expectation of privacy based on these surrounding circumstances. And part of that circumstance is how he married Shirley Strawberry. That's pretty much what they said. Okay. Listen, that's basically what they said. Absolutely, all of this stuff is a big old scam. So how you got an expectation of privacy and something like you don't have a right to other people's stuff? Like, what are we talking about here? So we're going to read this document. It's not as long as yesterday, so we won't be here as long as we were yesterday. Yes, thank you guys for hitting that like button. I appreciate that. All right. So the state comes, and they're like, this is the state's motion to dismiss, defendant's motion to suppress the vehicle search. So comes now the state of Georgia, bound through the undersigned counsel, and moves this honorable court to dismiss the defendant's motion to suppress vehicle search on grounds that the defendant lacks standing to challenge the search in question. The defendant filed his motion to suppress on September 30th of 2024. The state filed a response on October 25th, 2024. A partial hearing was held on December 18, 2024, and the court heard testimony from Roswell Police Department Detective Natalie Fields and arguments from counsel related to whether the seizure of the Ford F-350 vehicle was lawful under the Fourth Amendment. At the conclusion of testimony and argument, the court directed the parties to file a supplemental briefing related to what, if any, the state's evidence would constitute fruit of the poisonous tree if the court ultimately ruled that the seizure of the Ford F-350 was unlawful. So the footnote here, and we talked about this yesterday, in addition to this motion, the state intends to file a particularized response to the defendant's supplemental brief. So that's the brief we went over yesterday. So they was letting them know we're going to file a motion to dismiss, but we're still going to respond to their brief related to suppression. And that's what we went over yesterday. The state requested that the court also allow it to file supplemental briefing on the issue of whether the seizure of the Ford F-350 vehicle was lawful. In addition to supplemental briefing on the fruit of the poisonous tree. We already know all of that. That's just procedurally what has happened. They're saying he lacks standing, and for the reasons I basically summarized in the beginning. For some of you guys that don't have patience, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to go through it line by line, precept by precept. So the introduction has the Fourth Amendment guarantees the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated. And that's in our U.S. Constitution for those that, don't know. So I'm going to skip some of that and go down because they just talk about the Fourth Amendment protections and who they apply to and all of that. Where a defendant cannot establish both a subjective expectation of privacy and a legitimate objective expectation of privacy, his own Fourth Amendment rights are not infringed. He has no standing to contest the legality of the search. So they're saying he has no standing to test the legality of the search because he should not have an expectation of privacy in Shirley Strawberry's truck. He shouldn't have felt like he has rights or an expectation of privacy in her truck. So then it has here, the defendant asked the court to recognize as objectively reasonable and legitimate a purported expectation of privacy in a Ford F-350 vehicle procured by him solely through a years-long fraudulent and bigamous marriage. So everything about this is fraudulent, but you're saying your rights were somehow violated. Make that make sense. Courts in Georgia and elsewhere have soundly rejected Fourth Amendment claims in similar contexts, including those involving searches of stolen vehicles, searches of hotel rooms procured by fraud, searches of laptops purchased with stolen credit card information, searches of storage units rented using false identities, and even apartments rented under false identities, forged proof of income documents. So if you're getting stuff not legitimately, stop saying to the court, they should have never searched it because they invaded my privacy. They're saying what privacy? How you have an expectation of privacy of something that you got fraudulently? In line with these decisions and as set forth more fully below, the court should reject the defendant's Fourth Amendment claim and dismiss his motion because he has no standing to object to the search of the F-350. So then they get into the relevant facts here. You know what? That part said exactly, make it make sense. No right for nasty Nesto, the scammer. Well, they didn't say it like that. They said it a lot more professionally. So the relevant factual background on July 7, 2022. This is for those that don't know the background. Many of us have heard this several times, but this is how this all unfolded. On July 7, 2022, Roswell Police Department officers seized a Ford F-350 vehicle after placing the defendant under arrest on multiple outstanding warrants. A search warrant was obtained to search the vehicle the following day, and the vehicle was subsequently searched. The search yielded multiple items, including a black book bag containing various documents, a laptop computer containing child sexual abuse material, cellular telephones, a USB drive, vehicle and storage unit keys, 2 black X toys, a black mask with zips, and liquid V. And then, as you see in a footnote, the state said, for reasons unclear to the state, the defendant's supplemental brief to suppress vehicle search and all derivative evidence filed on January 6th of 2025 does not appear on the public docket associated with this case, even though no sealing order has been sought or entered as to any pleadings filed in this case. Because Georgia law presumes that the public will have access to all court documents, the defendant's pleading is attached hereto. So that's the only reason why we were able to even see their supplemental brief, because it is not on the docket. And the state didn't know why it was on there. I didn't know why it wasn't on there because I didn't see an order either. So it was attached to this motion. So before I went over the supplemental response from the state yesterday, I went over that Exhibit A so that we can have both motions together. And that's why I'm going over this as well, because the defense is going to respond to this. And I don't want to have to do all that on one day, trying to do the motion to dismiss. So right now we're waiting on the defense, Ernest Williams, to respond to this motion to dismiss. So that'll probably be the next document that we talk about after this one, unless something else happens in between. So you guys see all of this, all this stuff they found in this car. It is undisputed that the Ford F-350 in question was not registered to the defendant, but instead was registered to Shirley Strawberry, okay? The defendant asserts that Shirley Strawberry was his wife on the date of the seizure of the Ford F-350, but any purported marriage between the defendant and Ms. Strawberry was bigamous and therefore void as a matter of law. In order to, quote, to be able to contract marriage in Georgia, a person must have no living spouse of a previous marriage, aka a married person can't get married. Marriages of persons unable to contract shall be void. As such, a previous undissolved marriage renders void an attempted second marriage. And that's over there at Lovett v. Ziegler. Here, the defendant remained in at least one previous undissolved marriage at the time of his attempted marriage to Shirley Strawberry, rendering that attempted marriage void ab initio. On October 22nd of 1985, the defendant married Edith Miller in Aiken County, South Carolina. Y'all remember, that was one of the things that Chronicle Speaks broke, because she went and she saw that doc. I guess Edith reached out to her and said she was married to him, and she wanted the world to know she was married to him. And there was phone calls on that as well, because I think Sonia told Nesto about that on one of the phone calls, and he was like, What? I don't even, that sounds crazy to me. That sounds crazy to me. I don't know what they talking about. Where the state said this is what they talking about right here. This is what the state said. Let me pull up the exhibit. They said Exhibit B. To whom it may concern, this is the certified that on October 22nd, 1985, at Aiken in the county of Aiken, South Carolina, Ernest Levert Williams Jr. and Edith Wynn Miller were united in bonds of matrimony by Faustine B. Burbage, South Carolina, notary public in accordance with the laws of South Carolina and as shown by the records of this court. And so they just recently got a copy of that, it looks like, on January 23rd, 2025. That's what it looked like. That's a valid copy. That's what it says. Okay, so let's get back to this motion here. And so it goes on to say, there appears to be no record that the marriage to Miss Miller was ever dissolved. On September 1st, 2001, the defendant then married Martha Halliburton in Cobb County, Georgia, and that is in Exhibit C. So let's see what Martha Exhibit C, application for the marriage license. We got Ernest over here, and we got Martha, the bride, with her full married name, her maiden name, and all of that good stuff. And so that was what was on August 20th of 2021 is when that was filed. Then they got the marriage license here with Martha. Y'all see that? That's the marriage license with Martha. Okay. CCB said it's no, when it came with Martha, and I think we went over there, that I think Ernest, while he was in prison, I believe, he did try to divorce her, and then he never went through with it. So it's in, I believe, I can't remember, maybe Cobb County, but we went over there in another video. So he did at one point actually, I think, try to divorce her, and he never went through with the divorce. When it comes to Martha, with Edith allegedly was saying that they were still married and they never got a divorce. So she's saying everybody after her is not real. That's basically what Edith was saying. So if you guys weren't following this, Chronicle Speaks was one of the first ones that was talking about this whole Shirley Strawberry ordeal. She has a video of which she had emails with Edith. So the phone calls when I guess Edith was saying that ain't true, or kind of denying it and going ghost, apparently she may not have been being honest, okay? But as far as Martha, she did eventually divorce him, but she didn't divorce him until he was already married to Shirley. So yeah, it's a mess. This is a mess. Okay, let's get back here. Right, yep, Kiki and DC, correct. So now we have the defendant married Martha, and then we just went over all of that. On December 16, 2014, while Miss Miller and Miss Halliburton were still living, and while at least one of their marriages to the defendant remained undissolved, the defendant fraudulently swore to and filed a marriage license application with the Fulton County Probate Court, falsely stating under oath that each of his 3 prior marriages had been dissolved by divorce and that he was not subject to any legal impediment or other reason he should not be married. So that was in Exhibit D, the marriage license they have in Fulton County. Let me see. For with Shirley Strawberry. Let's see. Is that Martha again? Yeah, that's Martha. They had a lot of little certificates. So this was the one where they have it. If you, let me see if I can turn this around. So it has marriages. How many marriages dissolved? He said divorce. He said 3. So he said South Carolina in 1988. He's saying that he divorced her in 88. They got divorced in 88. Him and Edith is what he's alleging. In 94, somebody in Atlanta. That was what's that other one's name? I'm forgetting these people's name. In 2010 in December, I guess, is when he's saying that he divorced Martha. Okay. And there go him and Shirley's marriage license that people said they couldn't find. But there it is, right there. On the 9th day of January 2015. Remember, they got married on his birthday. Yeah, Carol. The singer. How I forget the singer? Yeah, it was Carol. Make sure y'all hit the like button, please, as you come in. Yeah. Muttley's woman said, I knew he was keeping in contact with these women because there is no way these women would have been so jovial with him and he had just disappeared and never looked back. My issue with Martha, though, and again, I don't know none of these women, but for her, she filed the divorce quietly. Like she thought she did it quietly. So in 2021, she made it seem like, and we went over that, she didn't know where Ernest was. Heck, I knew where he was, and I didn't even know that man. So she acted like she didn't know where he was. Now, I think Ernest alleged that she went to his wedding. She might have been at the wedding, or she dropped the daughter off at the wedding or something, but in one of the phone calls. But to me, I felt like she was dishonest when she was doing all of that in 2021 when she was trying to get the divorce, because she was like, yeah, I looked for him, I talked to his cousin, I talked to this, because you have to list what searches you did to try to find him. So she was alleging she couldn't find him at all. And so she put it in a paper. So she was trying to do it, you can tell, incognito is what she was doing. So she got her divorce through publication. So what didn't have to be court hearings. And I feel like if they were to call her under oath about that he probably knew what was going on. That's just my opinion. But yeah. Thank you so much, Miss J, for gifting 5 memberships. I appreciate that. And thank you, Granny the Great, for the generous super chat. I appreciate that. You said, happy birthday, Pam. May it bless you with many, many more. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know I probably missed a few. Thank you, T Rain, for the super chat. Thank you. Thank you. Get yourself some brown shaken espresso. It's so good. I will, Tanya. I will. Yeah, I'm probably not going to go out or go anywhere until tomorrow. So Patty said Martha looked all on MySpace for Nestle, but didn't check his Instagram. She did say that because we went over that, like, MySpace. What? Don't nobody even use MySpace anymore. Yeah. Yeah, Muffin said, I agree with that. It would have caused a lot of problems. Yeah, I think she just did what. Sonya be all right. She knew that man was married. Shoot. She knew he was married, so she'll be fine. Clearly, it didn't bother her at those moments. She was talking about his wife. She was over there on her page and everything. So she was looking for it. Okay, let's move on here. Rena said, I was married in Fulton County, and there are 2 signatures on my marriage certificate. Okay. So what you saying, the marriage certificate is not legit? Huh? Is that what you're saying, Rena? Explain to me what you're asserting here. Oh, let me pull up her decree thing because they got that as an exhibit too. I feel so close to this doggone camera. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Turn this again. So this was the final decree. It was in 2021. Upon consideration of this case, upon evidence submitted as provided by law, it is the judgment of the court. Basically, they granted the divorce. Okay, I thought it was saying how they publicized it, but they didn't. So he didn't get the divorce from her till December 29th of 2021. Again, he married Shirley in 2015. He filled out that application in 2014 saying that he was not married to anyone else. So let's move on.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, Danielle. Georgia's criminal statute making it a felony offense to enter into a bigamous marriage. So they put what that is. They got the marriage certificate also in the indictment. Okay, let's go. On April 17, 2024, Miss Strawberry filed to dissolve her marriage with the defendant by divorce. And that's an Exhibit G, complaint for divorce and other relief. The defendant's marriage to Miss Strawberry was dissolved on September 30th of 2024. Final judgment and decree of divorce was also filed. Notably, the divorce decree pointed out that the defendant and Miss Strawberry had no joint marital assets subject to equitable division, and noted that the defendant, quote, did not file an answer or otherwise respond to Miss Strawberry's complaint for divorce. Basically, you didn't contest anything she said, and she said you guys don't have anything joint. So what's hers is hers, and what's yours is yours. So that would include that truck that ain't in your name. The court ordered that Miss Strawberry, quote, shall be entitled to exclusive ownership of any personal property titled in her name or in her possession. Miss Strawberry was also awarded sole exclusive use and possession of the vehicles currently in her possession. So according to the decree, it's all hers. You have nothing to do with this F-350. Further, the state, and then they go on, when they come on with this, clearly they've talked to Shirley, and Shirley, what I want to know though, and I've been kind of pondering this, when do you guys think Shirley actually talked to the state? Do you think on some of those phone calls when she was, okay, hun, oh yeah, she's here, and she wants to talk to you, hun, do you think she was already talking to the state? You think she was already she had already been conversing with them and they probably told her to just play along with it or whatever? What do you guys think? And I say that because I know someone who was in that situation, and it was a federal case, but she literally was going along with it. Like, I believe everything you say, and I believe everything that you're doing. And they was dogging her in the media because they thought she was just a part of the whole criminal enterprise or something, and come to find out they just wanted her to keep acting normal because they wanted to catch the guy and more stuff. Do y'all think she was over there singing like a bird while she was still talking to him? I'm just curious. He said Shirley probably spoke to the state May and June of 2023. Okay. Miss J said, I believe Steve convinced her to go down there and find out exactly what was going on. Lonnie said, not in the beginning, but after a while they got in her ear. Yeah, I think once it got on the internet and some of us started really, well, no, because she did stop talking to him prior to the phone calls coming out. Because remember, she went off on him. That was one of my biggest videos on here that everybody keeps going back to, when she was her fed up video when she was going off. Yeah, that was, she had done that earlier in the year. It's like this Jill stuff, this is just not me. This is just not who I am. No, I can't do this anymore. It's like, you need to tell me what you're going to do. No, you're not going to tell me what I'm going to do. No, you're not. I do it on my time. Absolutely not. That's what she was doing on that video. Yeah, the jail stuff call was the May of 2023. Yeah. So the phone calls didn't start coming out till like September. We just didn't, we were just learning about a lot of the stuff because we were getting older phone calls. But them folks said, I think Debbie also played a key role in talking some sense into her. You think Creel told her first? You think Creel told her about Sonya? You think Creel told her you getting duped and played? Because Creel can't really that's his attorney. So there's a confidentiality there. So I don't know. Ty said, so she wasn't done for real until that hearing that said no children and dogs, summer of 2023. Okay. But the reason why I say that is because clearly the state has talked to her. And so they're saying the state expects her to testify, which means she's given some statement of some sort. And they've interviewed her and they expect her to testify at that trial to the following. The defendant purchased a Ford F-350 and registered it in her name without her knowledge or consent. Because how else would the state know that? So my thing to Shirley is, so you did have a bunch of red flags smacking you in the face because you're saying this man purchased a whole vehicle, put it in your name, and you didn't know anything about it. So we got this on top of all these evictions. That would have been a problem for me. You just come home with a big truck and you find out you got a note that you have to pay in your name for an F-350. And those aren't cheap vehicles at all. Yeah, she was making payments. She had to. I'm saying at first, it sounds like he may have gotten the vehicle without her knowing he was going to get it. Now, they probably had their arguments about it. Maybe she let it go or whatnot. But once it was in her name, she's responsible for it. But it sounded like he was probably keeping up with the payments and stuff on that car or the insurance and all of that because she didn't even know how to put tags on the vehicle. Remember, there's phone calls of which she is asking, he's trying to get Lamont to take her or one of his friends or somebody, Dion, somebody was trying to take her to go get tags and telling her how to get the stuff for the car and how to put, the air in the tire and all of that. You know what? Yeah, they took her G-Wagon eventually. Y'all moving fast in this chat. Oh my gosh. Jess Nikki said she didn't know how to do anything. And I see, and that's what one of the things that Erica said, and I still have audio from Erica I hadn't put out. But one of the things that Erica actually said was that that everything was about protecting Shirley. And I ain't saying that everything Erica say is the truth because, but one of the things that she did say was that he did everything for her. So he picked her up and he ran her errands. He drove her around. So I think he knew that she was a person that would like to be catered to and pampered. And so he got himself access to a lot of her stuff by saying, I'm going to take care of the bills. Because when you look at the eviction information, that was all in Shirley's name too, but she never showed up to the hearing. And that was probably because she didn't even know there was an eviction. He was the one that got served. He was the one that had Erica posing as the lawyer to handle all of that. So he would just say, I got it. I got it. I could hear him. I got this. You ain't got to worry about nothing. You don't got to worry about nothing. I got this. And so in her mind, it was, she doesn't have to deal with stuff and he's going to handle it and cover it for him. And that seemed like it was part of how he may have been able to get access to some of this stuff that she may or may not have known about. But she knew some of this stuff. I'm sorry. I believe she knew some of this stuff. Now, she may not have knew the extent. I'm going to say she has some suspicions, perhaps. I think she has some suspicions because you just going out and getting a car in my name, but you got 20 cars, including a Bentley and all of that. Now, he may testify and say she lying and she knew all about the car. But according to this, the government expects her to testify that he got this car without her consent. That's what he said in a call. She never wanted to deal with stuff. Yes. Bian said his pampering was manipulation and cover. So anyway, they expect her to testify that he purchased this vehicle without her knowledge or consent, that the Ford F-350 was purchased using her money. So not only did he purchase it without your knowledge and consent, he used your money to purchase it with. And I know when $20 is missing out my account. I'm like, I'm all through that. Did you order this DoorDash? I'm knocking on every door in my house. Did you order this? Wait a minute. Did you get this from Amazon? Wait a minute. Don't we got Hulu already? Why is it coming out twice? That's how I don't care if it's $5. I will call for $2.99. Go back that way. I will call for $2.99. Okay. So I'm not understanding how somebody can get a whole car, but so this right here, this testimony, I don't know. I'm telling you, everybody, I don't care if Dev is asleep. I'm gonna be like, I see something for $1.99 over at the gas station. Did you get gas over there? Huh? You said now he used scratching them other ladies' money to make payments. Why would you let him handle the finances? That's why I'm saying I got to be there for Shirley. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna have to be there for that because I gotta see her testimony. If Shirley and Strawberry testifies, I am going to be there, boots on the ground. Yes, analytical one. Why is the DoorDash tip so high? Don't they pay you at DoorDash? Like, why do they recommend you do 20%? Like, did y'all up that or something? You know, I just have to know. I just want to know. I'm one of them people. Sexy RN says some women want the man to handle everything. It makes them feel safe and secure. Oh, okay. But why would you feel safe? So, like, when did he purchase this F-350? Because after the first couple of evictions, how we getting evicted, but I'm going to trust you with my finances? Y'all help me understand how anybody would trust somebody who we can't even keep a roof over our head. And sometimes you do have marriages where one person is better than the other. And people have, with Shirley, it sounds like she may have had issues. You know, what he said that we don't know what to believe. But he's alleging that she wasn't good with finances. But so you are? Is that what we're arguing here? The favorite one said, I don't think they were living together when he got arrested. Yeah, they had just got evicted. And now we know the days before leading up to the arrest, it looked like there's a hotel receipt. So he was actually at a hotel, it looks like. Thank you, Haiti, for the super sticker. I appreciate it. D-Bub said they moved because of the bugs he planted. No, they moved because they hadn't paid that rent. Because that's on the, we went over that eviction too on the docket. Nestos Bond said they were Dumb and Dumber regarding finances. I get what y'all saying, but were they separated? She said, she did say they separated months before the actual, before he got arrested. It was like March or something, and he got arrested in July. However, was that a separation like they weren't going to be together? Because those phone calls do not sound like they were separated as in we're not going to be together. Those phone calls did not exhibit that in September. They may have been separated because they got evicted and she stayed with her friends and maybe he tried to stay wherever he could stay because they both couldn't stay at the same place. But it sounds like when those phone calls happened in like August and September and all of that, they didn't sound like they weren't together. Remember, she wouldn't even talk to the police. She was talking about her daughter, all of that at those initial phone calls. Thank you, Auntie Eva. I appreciate that. Thank you, Barbara. Ray all day said Shirley felt she was obligated to take care of him in jail. Okay. That's an argument. She felt like she needed to, like she thought that's all he had. Okay, that's an argument. All right, so let's go on. We can speculate on this all day. The fourth thing that they expect her to testify to. Oh no, we're on the third thing. Miss Strawberry continues to make payments on the Ford F-350 despite not having known at the time of purchase that it was purchased and registered in her name. The fourth thing, Miss Strawberry was unaware that the defendant was still married to Miss Miller or Miss Halliburton at the time of the wedding ceremony on January 9, 2015. I believe that. I don't think she knew that. The fifth thing that they say she's going to testify to is, or they expect her to testify to, is that Miss Strawberry would not have married the defendant had she known he was still married to Miss Miller and Miss Halliburton. I mean, that's a given. Now, Miss Strawberry, would you, if you had known that Ernest Williams was married to Miss Miller and Miss Halliburton, would you have still married him on January 9th of 2015? She'd have been like, absolutely not. Because, I mean, what else you going to say? And the sixth thing is the Ford F-350 would not have been purchased and registered in Miss Strawberry's name without her knowledge or consent using her funds had she known the defendant was still married to Miss Miller and Miss Halliburton at the time of the wedding ceremony on January 9, 2015. So a couple of those on cross-examination, Shirley Strawberry would be hit on a couple of them crosses if they cross her right. Now, the last three that they expect her to testify to, that's kind of a given. Like, who's going to say, or, oh, I know you're married, but I'm going to marry you anyway, and be on Essence Magazine and make a big display of it and get sponsors and talk about it on a radio show. Like, no, she's not going to do all of that. Yes, this is the same truck that Dion and Shirley got out because it wasn't nothing that he could. The thing is, because it was not in his name, Shirley was the only one. Like, they couldn't send nobody else to come get this truck but Shirley because it was in her name. So, yeah, that's the same truck. Can we hear the call when Shirley said he was never home? I have to dig through those calls. I do have some of them labeled. So, you know, a lot of those calls, it does come into perspective the more information that we learn. But so we may have to revisit some of those when I have to dig through that. to see. So then it goes on to say, accordingly, the defendant's use of the Ford F-350 on July 7, 2022 was procured solely through knowing and intentional fraud committed by him vis-a-vis his bigamous marriage to Miss Strawberry and his purchase and registration of the Ford F-350 in Miss Strawberry's name using her funds without her knowledge or consent. So the thing is this, and that's what I said before. So you telling me basically he stole from you too while you were married to him. He bought a vehicle in your name without your consent, using your credit, signing your name, and using your money. So you knew he would steal stuff, according to this, is what you're saying, right? I'm just trying to understand if that's going to be your testimony. Husband said, oh yeah, he stole from her big time. It does seem he has a history of robbing Peter to pay Paul. That's what we went over yesterday. How it was like, I got this car from her. I added money to it from her to go get this car. Then I added her money and her credit card to do that. Yeah, it sounded like, yeah. You said stop giving him a defense. Listen, I'm just saying. Hoover knows this case better than I do, and he has more of the discovery. So if I'm picking this up, then I'm sure he is. I hope she's very poised, because her cross would be brutal. Her cross would totally be brutal. It really would be. Because I would say you have an incentive to separate yourself from all of this, don't you? You have an incentive for that. You don't want to be a part of this. You don't want to make it seem like you knew anything. How convenient. Oh, now you don't know anything. And then I would be pulling up these phone calls. You didn't seem like you had a problem with going to pick this up out of impoundment. You didn't have, and maybe that's why after he got that F-350, he went on ahead and got her a G-Wagon so she can be quiet. Maybe that's what all that was for. Maybe that'd be a part of the testimony. This is going to be very interesting. Cherry said, at this point, I think Shirley herself is ready to be brutal. Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm just, Willie J, I'm just, you know. Glorious Love said it should be brutal. I think she had a responsibility not to condone this stuff that he was doing by indifference. Or plausible deniability. GC said he preyed on her. I think maybe she didn't want to know a lot of stuff, and I do agree that she probably did. She was older at that time, and she's probably done a lot. She was divorced one time, and she hadn't been married in years, and it probably was refreshing not to worry about a light bill, a gas bill, any of that. But she knew his past because she talked about it on the calls. Your past is your past. Everyone can change. I don't understand why they're doing this to you. They don't even have anything. I don't understand. They don't have anything. Why are they doing this to you? So you think nothing was suspicious to make sure that his past was still his past? I'm just saying. I don't know. So basically they're saying that the defendant had no legitimate expectation of privacy in the vehicle, and as a result, no standing to challenge the validity of the search. Because again, a defendant does not have standing to challenge a search if they don't have the standing, and they can't legally contest the validity of a search. Because you can't have a reasonable expectation of privacy. That's like I go steal a car, and then when I get pulled over, I'm telling you, oh, I had a gun under my seat, but you couldn't search it anyway because you didn't have permission. Well, I didn't have permission to steal the darn car either. Like, how do I really have a say that you violated my constitutional right, my due process? You violated my rights, but I stole this vehicle in the first place. You don't have a right, and that's pretty much what they're arguing. Nesto Shackle Shuffle. I don't think there would be no trial. Nesto would plead even without a plea deal because of the recidivist. I don't think there's going to be a trial either. But we'll see. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's going to be a trial either. But I think, I don't know. I mean, maybe he is going to fight this to the end. Sure. Whatever. I'm going to be there either way. That's all I'm going to say. Willie J said, never paid bills nor paid employees, and I want to talk to someone who was dumb enough to hire his security service. The Gold Experience said a habitual offender getting an automatic 20 years. Yeah, he does. His past, and something that somebody else would get like a year for, you automatically get like here when you're habitual. Depending on how many times, you actually will get life for minor stuff, like a 2-year gun felony, a 2-year GUN felony. You might end up getting 25 years. So, yeah, that recidivism is going to affect him as well, being a habitual. You know what? Jay Blake said Shirley was his only security customer. Muttley's woman says Shirley is classified as a victim in this case, and I'm sure she have told them anything they wanted to know. Yeah, she definitely talked to them because they're saying what they expect her to testify. How you know what she's going to say? The only thing we can guess she's going to testify to is that she did not know that he was married, because I do believe that. But as far as like he used her money and she got the truck without her permission, that had to be something she told them. Because how else would they know that? So let me see what other exhibits are here besides the complaint for divorce. Oh, they didn't have anything else. Okay. So let's get into the argument. They talk about the Fourth Amendment. We read that already up in the beginning. As such, to prevail on a claim that law enforcement conducted an unconstitutional search under Fourth Amendment, a defendant must first establish that he had a legitimate expectation of privacy in the place searched or evidence seized that society is prepared to recognize as reasonable. Further, it is the defendant who bears the burden of establishing both a subjective and an objective expectation of privacy. Finally, whether society is willing to recognize an expectation of privacy as legitimate is a question of law. So then they say Georgia courts have routinely rejected the proposition that society is prepared to recognize any legitimate expectation of privacy in property that is stolen or procured by fraud. So in the case of Burgesson, a defendant was convicted of unaliving a victim and stealing the victim's vehicle. Sometime after the murder, police located the defendant and her cohorts driving the victim's vehicle, initiated a stop, and conducted a warrantless search of the vehicle. The Supreme Court of Georgia affirmed the trial court's denial of the defendant's motion to suppress the search of the vehicle. I can't believe they even tried to. The car is stolen, and you really tried to file a motion to suppress what they found in the car that you stole? That just sounds crazy to me. Anyway, the Supreme Court of Georgia affirmed the trial court's denial of the defendant's motion to suppress the search of the vehicle, holding that the defendant had no standing to assert a violation of her Fourth Amendment rights because she had no proprietary interest in the vehicle or legitimate expectation of privacy regarding the vehicle or its content. On the contrary, the court observed, as one knowingly using a stolen vehicle on a public roadway, the defendant probably was in constant expectation of intrusion by authorities. Basically, if you ride in a stolen vehicle, you probably were more worried that the police were going to stop you, and actually you expected them to stop you and go try to search you and the vehicle, because the vehicle is stolen. You should have an expectation of privacy. In Brisbane, the Supreme Court of Georgia again held that the defendant has no standing to challenge the search of a stolen vehicle, relying on language from an Emory University School of Law Journal article observing that one in unlawful possession of a stolen vehicle should be in no better position to assert a claim of invasion to his privacy with respect to the search of the vehicle that would be a trespasser on real property. In Burgesson and Brisbane, the court held that the defendant's challenge to the lawfulness of a vehicle search must fail because defendant and his companion could have had no legitimate expectation of privacy in a stolen car. Georgia courts have not limited this logic to stolen vehicles, but also has extended it to other circumstances where a place search was procured by defendant by fraud. In State v. Del Vecchio, the Court of Appeals of Georgia agreed with the prosecution's argument that, quote, one who obtains a hotel room by presenting a fraudulent credit card has no reasonable expectation of privacy and therefore lacks standing to challenge the search of the hotel room. The court acknowledged that's another package. Oh. The court acknowledged that while registered guests of a hotel room can have a reasonable expectation of privacy in their room, one who obtains room by fraud can have no reasonable expectation of privacy in the room. Like one in possession of a stolen car, mere unlawful possession of a room does not alone warrant a reasonable expectation of freedom from governmental intrusion. Numerous federal cases are in accord. In U.S. v. Cayman, the defendant purchased a laptop computer using stolen credit card information. That's over in the Ninth Circuit. That's like California. Police conducted a warrantless search of the laptop, which was found to contain images of boys who are around 10 or 12 years old, exhibiting their genitals for the camera. The defendant's challenge to the warrantless search of the laptop was flatly rejected. I can hear that. Oh, here. Was flatly rejected. Okay, we see in reaching this conclusion, the court noted we see no ground on which to distinguish property obtained by fraud from property that was stolen by robbery or trespass. And U.S. v. Johnson, the defendant directed his girlfriend to rent a storage unit using a stolen identity. Police conducted a warrantless search of the storage unit and located 2 firearms, which the defendant was prohibited from possessing because of his status as a convicted felon. The 10th Circuit forcefully rejected the defendant's challenge to the warrantless search, finding that the defendant had no Fourth Amendment right in a storage unit procured by fraud. And so that court over there in the 10th Circuit held that ultimately what matters is not whether Johnson might have some legitimate property interest in the storage unit, but whether Johnson's interest is one that the Fourth Amendment is intended to protect. Arguments such as those Johnson advances here do not distract us from the fact that a fraud was perpetrated and the victim was a third party. We will not be a party to this fraud by legitimizing Johnson's interest in the storage unit. Therefore, whatever subjective privacy expectation Johnson had in the storage unit were not expectations that society is prepared to recognize as objectively reasonable. Johnson thus did not have any Fourth Amendment right in the unit and could not expect that the police were required to obtain a warrant or establish an expectation to that requirement in order to search the unit. So then they go on to other similar challenges to warrantless searches have been rejected, where a hotel room was searched without a warrant after the defendant obtained a hotel room using a false name and a dead woman's credit card. Where a vehicle was searched without a warrant after the defendant provided a false social security number on loan documents for the vehicle and stopped making payments on the vehicle. where an apartment was searched without a warrant after the defendant rented the apartment using the name of a deceased individual, provided a forged driver's license, and provided a forged tax return to demonstrate his ability to pay rent. All this seemed like it would go to those houses over there with those houses over there on Pine Grove, and where a hotel room was searched without a warrant after the defendant and accomplices rented the room under a false name and using stolen credit card information. Returning to Katz and its progeny, the question before this court is whether society is prepared to recognize as objectively reasonable and legitimate the defendant's, Mr. Williams' purported expectation of privacy in a Ford F-350 that came into his possession only because of a years-long fraudulent and bigamous marriage to Miss Strawberry, and that he purchased and registered in her name using her funds without her knowledge or consent. As a starting point, it is axiomatic that the act of bigamy itself is one that modern society is not and never has been prepared to recognize as legitimate. Beginning as early as 1604, King James I assented to an act of the English Parliament creating the felony offense of bigamy. Quote, if any person or persons being married do at any time after marry any person or persons, the former husband or wife being alive, that then every such offense shall be a felony. They really have King James from the 1600s as their authority. Indeed, as the Supreme Court of the it probably would say this: if thou persons or persons being thus married do at thou times, because it says on here they basically have modern spelling used, so it's a bunch of thousands, thuses and thousands, those, and all of that in here. Indeed, as the Supreme Court of the United States long ago observed, we think it may safely be said that there never has been a time in any state of the Union when polygamy has not been an offense against society, cognizable by the civil courts and punishable with more or less severity. That's in Reynolds v. United States. Oh, we've moved up to the 1800s now with our authority, 1878. I told you guys they probably blew off the dust off that statute. In OCGA, section 19-3-2A3 and 19-3-5A established that bigamous marriages are void as a matter of law. And then OCGA section 16-6-28 creates the felony offense of bigamy. Bigamous marriage is void pursuant to the first codification of Georgia law. Moving past historical precedent, we thank you so much, state of Georgia. We thank you guys for all of this historical precedent that you guys have provided. But they say they're moving past it now. The real world consequence of the defendant's fraudulent and bigamous marriage suffered by Miss Strawberry, and indeed the same consequences suffered by any unwitting spouse victimized by a bigamous marriage, should not be lost on this court. Not only did the defendant's action constitute a gross violation of Miss Strawberry's trust and create the potential for lasting emotional harm and embarrassment, but the potential legal consequences for Miss Strawberry and similarly situated victims are innumerable. The federal government has previously identified a total of 1,138 federal statutory provisions classified to the United States Code in which marital status is a factor of determining or receiving benefits, rights, and privileges. Simply put, the defendant's fraud operated to deprive Miss Strawberry of potentially thousands of benefits, rights, and privileges tied to marital status under state and federal law. Moreover, he purchased the Ford F-350 using her funds and registered it in her name without her knowledge or consent, leaving her with the financial burden of an unwanted vehicle that she continues to pay for to this present day. The defendant fully knew he had procured the Ford F-350 by fraud, knew that his fraud might someday come to light and terminate his access to the vehicle, and should have been in constant expectation of intrusion by the authorities by driving such a vehicle procured by fraud on a public roadway. I'm sorry, y'all. I know you guys are like, don't give them any arguments. But how do you get past? So, like in one of the phone calls, for instance, she was telling him she was selling the truck. And she was like discussing this with him. If you actually get a car in my name with my money, I'm going to do what the hell I want to do with it. Now, we're not having a discussion. Like a lot of those phone calls, and I'm not saying that originally he didn't do this, but can you purge yourself somehow when she starts just accepting it? Like she didn't like call the place and get mad like, you guys know you didn't have my ID. Why would you allow him to do this? Like, what did you do to stop? You were okay after a while with him driving that truck. You were okay with it. So, like, how do you stand on this was all fraudulent if at some point you became okay with it? Assuming that he did originally get that, because I know he'll probably argue otherwise. But assuming that what they're saying is correct, that the origination of this was not with her consent, if you don't try to say, listen, I never gave my husband his consent to do this, I don't want to have this in my name, you guys should have never given this to him because you didn't have my ID, my signature, and everything that it took, that means that dealership could be on the hook. So why wouldn't they try to help you get up out of it? I'm just perplexed at this right here, that part of it. I don't know. She's going to say that it's her husband and she went along with it eventually because she loved him. I'm sure she will. But so if she admits that she went along with it, then that means while he was driving it, it wouldn't have been fraud, right? Because it would have been with her permission during that time. Okay, but I guess their argument on the state side is that it's the origination, how it was procured. I guess it's going to be their argument from the beginning. It's like how it was procured was with fraud. It was not with her permission. And therefore, because that's how it was given. Now, eventually, if they say, okay, you can have it, that doesn't matter. That's just a very interesting issue. Bianne said Nestle told her on a phone call that the truck was in her business name initially. Jay Blake said, when did she find out it was in her name? That's what I want to know. But the argument is they weren't legally married. She didn't know that, so it's fraudulent. I get that. She's going to argue if I would have known that he was married to somebody else, obviously I wouldn't have gave him permission to get a car. It's just real intertwined because you don't have to get, some people get cars and co-sign for people that they're not even married to. Because wasn't he supposed to be engaged to somebody else even when he got with Shirley allegedly? This is just messy. I don't know. Georgia P said because if she had claimed that it was gained under fraudulent terms, even though she didn't know, she didn't want to get him in trouble, had she reported it. I get exactly what you're saying, and I'm sure that's what she's going to argue. But keep in mind, he's going to argue he didn't do it without him. Now, if she got maybe they got text messages or something, and that may be part of why they're saying they know she'll testify to that. Because maybe she said, "What is this, Ernest? What is this in my name? I thought this was your truck. I didn't know that you got this in my name, hon." Maybe that's what she's going to say. And maybe it's some text messages to show that, what am I supposed to do? They won't take the truck back. I'm just talking this out, as we're going. Bible lady said he was in a relationship with Ebony Steele from the Ricky Smiley Stuff show prior to Shirley. Okay. You know what? I'm not doing this. We're being serious here, Butterfly Empress. We are trying to analyze these facts as we know them. She was all my man, even after he was arrested 3 times during his marriage. Yeah, he was arrested during the marriage too. That's what I'm saying. You were evicted, you were arrested. Now he did have some no-lay price on at least one of the cases that I saw that was during their marriage, because I went through that in a video too, the arrest that he had while they were married. I don't know, Shirley Ann. I don't know. Maybe she knew at some point, but once she found out they not married, she was like, I'm telling. She wasn't going to send him to jail. Did he put in Shirley's daughter? Well, I think he's going to say Erica did it and he didn't have nothing to do with it, because it does sound like Erica was like being the liaison, and she told the landlord, you can't talk to the actual tenants. I'm the person you talk to. Everything goes through me. So it may have been Erica that put Sheridan's name on there. It might not have been his. I don't know. He fraudulently purchased that truck. Right. Like, was Erica there for that? Because I'm saying the dealership, he probably did have her ID and stuff. That's a good question. Do you think that some other woman was there to fill that stuff out? Or maybe because he buys so many cars, he has a relationship with the people? I don't know. Thank you, Tanya. I appreciate that. Shirley only divorced him because we all found out what Nestle did last summer. She divorced him within the same week of the indictment, so I'm sure she was in conversation with them. So was she complicit, or was she just playing dumb and hope things would just go away? I don't know, guys. We have got to watch this trial. Because I think Shirley got duped to a degree? Yes. But do I think Shirley is just all the way, oh my God, I'm just so innocent? I don't. Me personally, I think she has some knowledge of some stuff. What stuff, I can't tell you exactly. But at minimum, you're alleging that you knew that he stole from you, got a car that you didn't give him permission to get. You knew you got evicted several times. You knew that last eviction, you knew that happened even though you weren't there, because they garnish your wages. Who don't know that $1,000 extra is coming out your check? So she had garnishments that she was dealing with because of him. And that was happening while he was in jail, right? So you were still talking to him, hun, okay, you want me to send you pictures? I'm going to send you scriptures. You're going through your Job season, but you knew that you had garnishments, but you thinking you moving because you got bugs in the house. The math just don't be mathing with me. I can agree that she probably got comfortable and she liked the man taking care of her and riding her around and all of that. But I don't know, y'all. Trey says she tried to save face for the I told you so. Yeah, because it was people in her comments that were trying to warn her even before her marriage. And she ignored them. He has a connection at that dealership because he had numerous transactions there, including processing credit card transaction without the credit card from the teacher. Okay, Georgia Peach, how you know? Tell me. You got some information you want to let us know, huh? This is all alleged. But I do believe he did purchase a lot of vehicles. He had fleets of cars. He did the whole mobile barber shop. He also had the security vehicles. So yes, he has some connection to dealerships. But as a dealership, you know you can't just get something in somebody else's name without them being there. So will the dealership testify that she called in or somebody was actually sitting there? Because I'd be calling the dealership about what happened during that transaction. Now, if again, like what some of you guys were kind of pondering, if there was another woman that was sitting there, yes, a wrap. If it was another woman there that was there, just like how that affidavit, remember the affidavit came out and Shirley was like, I didn't sign no affidavit. What are you talking about? I don't know. Yeah, it's 1200. If you guys can hit the like button, I'd appreciate that. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I am going to we're at the end of this. As the Supreme Court of Georgia recognized in Brisbane, one in unlawful possession of a vehicle should be in no better position to assert a claim of invasion to his privacy with respect to the search of the vehicle than would be a trespasser on real property. In this case, the defendant abandoned any legitimate expectation of privacy in the Ford F-350 the moment he attempted to perpetuate or perpetrate a fraud. See Wei Kung, 845 Federal Sub. It is immaterial whether that quote moment was when defendant entered into a fraudulent and bigamous marriage with Ms. Strawberry, when he procured the Ford F-350 using Ms. Strawberry's funds on account of the fraudulent and bigamous marriage, or when he registered the vehicle in Ms. Strawberry's name without her knowledge or consent. The entire transaction from beginning to end was fraud, and this court should not be a party to that fraud by legitimizing the defendant's purported privacy interests in the Ford F-350. So this is what they're saying. They don't care about when, the moment, whatever. They feel like the court should not allow him, as being a party to fraud, legitimize his actions and say that he had an expectation of privacy in that truck. But what if she testifies, and I'm just throwing stuff out there. What if she just testifies that she never drove the truck? So it's some form of let me hush. That argument is a good argument in my head, so I'm not even gonna say it. But yeah, this is gonna be very interesting how this goes. But I see what the state is saying. If your whole transaction is fraudulent, you shouldn't be able to benefit from your fraudulent behavior. It's similar to you stealing a car and you can't have an expectation if you stole a car. If you get a house like those on Pine Grove, you knew everything about it was fake. The names on it was fake. This business you put on here, Black Heritage Radio, was fake, wasn't legitimate. So we know that he was actually going to that address because again, when you look at the Google searches, you can see his vehicle from a historical Google search pictures. But you can't say anything you found in those houses you had an expectation of privacy, because you shouldn't have ever got those houses because or had access to it, because all of this stuff was done fraudulently. So I totally get that argument. The Shirley with the truck thing and what she'll testify to, I just want to see how this unfolds and how it comes out. But again, it sounds like she had plenty of red flags that something wasn't going on. But she seemed so shocked. Remember, she was like, not us. What happened to us? Remember that call? What happened to us? Like she really thought they were relationship goals or something. Why would you think that's relationship goals if you're getting evicted, you're getting cars repossessed, you got somebody putting cars in your name without your permission, using your money? What happened to us? Not us. What is that? I just can't believe this. I don't know, y'all. You said she might be an actress. I don't know. You said Shirley was following the Bible teachings like a fool. I understand. You know, I believe in the covenant of marriage too. Thank you, Helen, for the cash app. She did say she's plays dumb. Remember, she didn't even know how many grandchildren he had. I think Shirley talked to Officer Fields very early and she played in Nesto's face, hoping he'd take accountability. That's from Nesto Shackle Shuffle Walk of Shame. AK said, and that person was staying away from home days at a time. Eventually, she knew what time was. She did say he wasn't home because he was saying he was going to be home now, home more. So he wasn't that. Let's add that to the list. He wasn't hardly home. And let him tell her he never lived at Pine Grove Road. So how can her request a motion to suppress evidence on evidence found in a place that he didn't live? He's a That's from Bible Lady. Yeah, we might have to pull the calls back up. August Lady said, I don't think she talked to Fields early because she dished out $75,000. That's true. She did pay for his attorney fees. That's a good point. Well, I'm just curious to see how this unfolds. I really am. So basically, the state is saying you can't challenge any type of Fourth Amendment violation because all of this is fraud. Everything connected to it is fraud, and you don't have an expectation of privacy. So we'll see what the court has to say about that. She even said he was never home. She did. And she was sleeping on an air mattress. I don't know what kind of, you know what? I'm not doing this with you. Thank you, Cassie. I appreciate that. Let's see if I missed anything over here. So Charleston White says she was there. He only has one, though. One eye, though. Well, I'm waiting on Shorty the comedian to come on over here and tell us what's up with Erica King because he said she is dangerous over in the chat yesterday. Oh, I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Let's do a couple of more boxes here before I get off of. Oh, shoot. Before I get off of here. Thank you guys again for all of the gifts and showing me love. I appreciate that. Thank you, Delicate Dell. I appreciate you. I don't know what this is. A surprise gift. Hold on. I got some mics. You know how you guys talk about when I'm outside of the courthouse? And I need, so you guys can, like, I can't hear you on the phone. I can't hear you. I got a mic. Thank you, Marshall. I appreciate it. Damn, you are hilarious. Look at you. Can you hand me one of those boxes? Guys, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already before you come off of here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I got this for my fan. It's a little blender I saw on TikTok. You know how people make their own little fancy coffees? Got one of those. I got so much. Who got me this? Tarla, thank you so much for the gift. Okay, give me one more. Give me 2 more boxes, and that's it. That's all I'm gonna do on here. I'm hungry. Thank you. Y'all got fancy with it. It's all wrapped up and stuff. They all wrapped it up. That's so nice. This is from, what's this one? Andrea Harvey. Thank you so much. It's the bathroom organizer. Okay, I ain't gonna open that. In another box. I wonder why the boxes, they have like these envelopes in them, but the other ones don't have it. This is a traveling charging pad for Apple.
Thank you.
And this is from Shanika. Thank you, Shanika.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Shanika. All right. Latoya said Erica was the brains of that operation. Sassy said it was the person who made a video about her friend who was working with Nesto when this first broke. Shirley would ask her if she thought Nesto was cheating on her. Oh my goodness. Illegal Paralegal said, enjoy the rest of your birthday evening. We appreciate all your hard work. Thank you so much. At Pam, I think he wants to testify, but I don't think he should. That's just my opinion. Now that would be they probably could cross-examine him in their sleep. Linda said Ernesto was not about to cross Erica because she knows everything. SJ says Shirley worked at night. If anything happened in the daytime, it went over her head. Y'all know how those third shift people are. The husband said, I wish my husband would tell me we don't have a place to when he's charge of house. Listen, and she made good money. But he talked about how she was not good with her finances. And that kind of worked out for him. Because when you're not good with your finances, then somebody acting like they got multiple businesses and cars, I'm thinking he okay. You know, he's good with it. Okay, I have a selfie. Is this a selfie stick? What is this? This is a selfie stick. This is from, I don't have it on here who it's from. Thank you so much, anonymous person. Thank you, thank you. Running out of room over here. Oh. Jesus. Thank you guys for celebrating with me on today. I appreciate the love and the support. Have a sheet set. Got some sheets. And it don't say who it's from either. I should have told y'all. Could you please put your name on here? It doesn't have a name on it. So whatever you got me in the membership, if you can just tell me so I can thank you if I haven't said your name. It's just because it's not in here. feel like I'm getting like two of the same stuff. This the same thing I just had. A selfie stick with the tripod. Thank you, Quazon. Durant, I appreciate it. Okay. I think some of these, they done doubled up, y'all. I don't know. I got two things that are two of the same thing. All right, that's it. That's all I can do right now. You said 3 to 4 hours per day at her salary is a great deal. Absolutely. She made good money. We actually looked at her. It was attached to one of the pleadings we had. It had her how much she made. So yeah, she was making good money. I'd have been able to live swell off of it, but I guess maybe she has some past. Well, she wanted, obviously she wanted a lifestyle bigger than her salary, because remember, one of the phone calls was her talking about going into Steve's house, and she kind of talked a little greasy about not. Well, she seemed like she admired, I guess some people looked at it in that way, Marjorie Harvey, and how she had her own personal trainer and how she would love to have all of that stuff too or whatnot. So Sherry said, I have friends in the radio business and they work for at least 6 hours. You have to record promos, plan your segments with producers. They just don't just do the show. Okay. That's from Sherry. She let you know that the radio folks is working. So don't just say. Thanks to Steve Harvey, Shirley went from making $400K a year to making $1 million. That was a real nice bonus. Yeah, she's doing very well. Thank you, Barbara, again for the Cash App, honey. I appreciate that. D-Dub says she also pays Sheridan's rent. Yes, and that was part of Nesto's. For like, how you get mad that she paying for her daughter, but you telling her she need to pay for your legal bills, and you allegedly got a car according to this without her permission. She's getting even. It's just too much. Yep, they blew that statement out of proportion to take some of the heat off Steve and Marjorie's marital problems. Jane Toy said Nesto's goose is cooked. Thank you, Denise. I appreciate it. Yep, I appreciate it. So what y'all about to do, huh? What y'all about to do, huh? What you guys about to do on my birthday? Are you guys following me on Instagram? All of you guys follow me over on Instagram. Also, if you guys have not subscribed, my father also has a channel. So I want y'all to go on over there, and subscribe so he can get to his 1,000. Okay, so if one of the mods can put his channel over there. Did you guys see my picture on Instagram, huh? Did y'all see? You see my picture on Instagram? This is my birthday picture on Instagram. Y'all see it, huh? It's my picture, you guys see. That's why I had to go get them hula hoops and stuff. I was like, whoa. Girl, you better get this under control. Oh, thank you. She had judgments for non-payment. Yes, she did. My name is Pam SESQ on Instagram. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Go over there and hit that heart over there. I appreciate it. What else y'all want to talk about, huh? While we here, what else we gonna talk about? This box is heavy. I'm gonna get 2 more. I have to show y'all. My son got me too. This is from Anita Moses for Always, Forever, for Life. Thank you so much. She is one of the faithful intellects over here. And this is the shower steamers. Get into it. The shower steamers. I'm like, this smells good. Gonna go throw this in the shower on tonight. So that's one of the things that I'm going to do. Do we have an update on Russell Simmons and Kimora? I'll look into it. Oh, this is another thing I want to say before we while we're on here, since we're just chit-chatting. I've had questions about the Jay-Z case, and I posted a document in the membership because I guess people were saying that Jay-Z dismissed his case or something against Busby. But what happened is, what Jay-Z did was, remember, he filed a motion for sanctions. Thank you so much, Houston Foodie, for the super sticker. I guess, you know how he filed the motion for sanctions, saying that Busby filed this motion knowing that it was frivolous and didn't do any type of vetting, and then tried to blame it on another firm and said they did the vetting and they've been doing all this squabbling back and forth. Well, Jay-Z's attorney dismissed it without prejudice, meaning he can bring it back later, but he did file a motion to dismiss. And I didn't go over the motion to dismiss today. It got filed yesterday. Well, yesterday we had the Ernest 3-hour marathon, so of course I wasn't going over it yesterday. But I didn't honestly go over it because we've heard all the arguments already. Thank you, Marlo Bracy. I appreciate it. I got the Good Girl perfume. This perfume smells really good, okay? It smells very good. Thank you so much. Thank you for the super sticker again, Houston Foodie. I appreciate it. Getting ready for Sisters to come on. Yeah, that's my show too. I think I'm gonna watch that too. But yeah, so hopefully that answers your questions, because some people were asking me over on Twitter. They were asking me like, girl, what's up with them dismissing the case? I'm like, I don't know nothing about that. I don't know about them dismissing the case. This is a whole happy birthday pack. I don't know what's in it. Oh, we got like a mug and gift set and all of that good stuff. And that was from I don't tell who it's from. But thank you so much. Mocha Pam say happy birthday. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Ty said I'm a couple of seasons behind on Sisters, and I don't get why Karen been pregnant for 2 years. Yeah, she been pregnant with them, and usually you had twins early. Yep. Put my hair back in the ponytail. Told you these boxes just keep coming, and I'm grateful for it now. I'm grateful for it, but it's just a lot of opening. My book. Thank you so much. This is Ketanji Brown Jackson, you know, the Honorable Justice over there at the Supreme Court, who is my fave ever, from Susan Hendricks. Thank you so much. I am reading this tomorrow. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Y'all see these boxes, you're going to be like, that's too big. I keep saying I'm not going to open anymore. And then I go grab another box. Versace. Got some Versace perfume from Miss Buckeye. Hey, sis. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. What else we got? Can you make your video view larger than the court documents? Okay. All right. Hold down. This is from, it's another mug from Linda. That's why I said I think them people was doubling up on there. You see what I'm saying? Thank you so much. I'm like, I got two of some things around these parts. I thought they took it off the list. I went back and it was like a lot of that stuff was gone. I got some culinary set. Spoons and flatware and stuff like that. Because, you know, we always have missing forks and spoons in our house. So, now we got a whole new set. And this is from Jermaine. Thank you, Jermaine. Appreciate it. I ain't never got this many gifts in my entire life. This is crazy. But I'm grateful. Let's see. Telling y'all I was not playing with these boxes that I had here. Some more of these. I'm telling you, shower things. Y'all think Amazon messed up and just gave me two of everything? Double for my trouble? Is that what's happening? Double portion. God is blessing me with double portion of everything. Thank you, Aaliyah. I appreciate it. Have a portable fan. What's this one? I don't think it says who it's from. But thank you so much. Thank you. I don't know where I'm going to put all this stuff. I don't know. Let's see what this big box is. Thank you, Jackson Tabasco. Thank you, sis. I appreciate that. This is a jewelry box. Let's see if I can open it. Who want to come over here and help me clean up all these boxes, huh? Break these boxes down for the curd. Let's see. Here's the jewelry box. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lolisa. You know that's Bishop Whitehead's sister. See, Whitehead. Some people like me. This is from Lolisa. Have some cookware. Y'all see that? And she has another gift in here. Okay, I'm gonna have to commemorate this moment with one of our favorite videos of Whitehead.
You's a clown. That's what you. Why don't you call me a cardboard bishop now? Huh? You tough? Call me a cardboard bishop now.
He's not gonna call you that.
Huh?
I'm not gonna
Look on Facebook Live. Call me a cardboard bishop now. You clown. That's what you are. You clown. That's what you are. Why don't you say what you say on Facebook Live, sucker?
No.
Thank you so much to Bishop Whitehead's sister. Thank you so much. Tell him I said hello. We miss him out here in these YouTube streets. And she also got some exercise pants because I told y'all I'm getting, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do. Caramel, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it, sis. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the gift. I think after a while of them sending me these boxes, they started sending me packages. That's why they don't have any. They're like, oh, okay, we see where this is going. Thank you, Sherry. This gift right here is from Sherry P. We have a candle warmer lamp. Thank you so much. I'm going to use that with my shower discs on today. We get to the end. We get to the end here. Okay, I wasn't even going to go through all of these. But since y'all want to sit here and watch me, shoot, we might as well do it together. Thank you so much. Now, this is the under the sink organizer. I'm not going to take it out the box because it's kind of big. Let's see who is this from. What's that other paper at? It don't say who's it's from. So if you're the one that got this under the sink organizer, please let me know in the membership. Okay. Oh. You said I know you. Georgia Peach said, did he ever speak negative? Georgia Peach, are you new here? You talking about Whitehead? What girl? Did Whitehead ever say anything negative about me? The paparazzi. Thank you so much. She got me a fan too. Thank you so much. Girl, how much time do you got for me to tell you about Whitehead and how he hates my guts? Huh? Thank you, Renee. How much time do you have for me to tell you? I got videos for days. This is Valentino. That smells very good too. Thank you so much. I don't have any, nothing. I don't know whose it's from. Thank you so much for it, though. I appreciate it. Is that all I got over here? Oh, I got another box over here. Whoa. Y'all almost lost me over there. I almost fell. You know what I'm saying? Then it would have been a meme. And I have a comforter. You guys see, I have a comforter. Who got me this comfy comforter? That don't say either. That's the third piece of paper. Let's see. Jacqueline, thank you for the comforter. I appreciate that. Whew. And that concludes our box opening for the day. Thank you guys so much for all of the love. Let me show y'all what this look like. Hold on, let me take a picture of it. This is like, this is only half of the room, right? That's half of the room of what it looks like. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for all the support and the continued support. You guys are definitely made my day. So that's half the room. I got the other stuff on that side. But thank you guys for hanging in with me. I was like, they're not going to want to watch me open up all this stuff. But thank you guys for those that stuck it out with me to watch me open up all of this stuff. You said don't get lost in the boxes. I will. I definitely will. And you guys, make sure you hit the like and subscribe if you have not done so already. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's commentary. I'm going to go because I have to clean up all of this stuff. Again, thank you so much to my members because they are the ones that bought all of this stuff that I have to go try to find a place to put. And we'll be back at it to do it again, Lord willing. Again, thank you guys so much for celebrating my birthday with you. And I'll holler at you guys next time.